Assalamu alaikum guys. So this is my long awaited Revert story. You guys have literally been pestering me for months. I think since the start when I joined TikTok, you guys have been asking me to do this. So as you all know, I was really young when I reverted. I was about 13 when I first came to Islam, but before that I was very interested, and obviously I took my time to learn and know sort of what I was getting myself into and if this was the right thing for me. So I'd always known about Islam, but it was never something I was fully interested in because I was a kid, basically. But once I joined secondary school, that was when, sorry my daughter, that was when I started getting really interested, because obviously majority of my friends were Muslims, and my best friend, who didn't actually attend my secondary school, is Algerian. So I always used to go to her house, and I used to see how her family dynamic was and how just their mannerisms, and I loved it. Like, I just loved how they prayed. Her mum's actually a teacher, so she teaches Arabic and she has her own Arabic school. So I used to see her mum like having these little classes and teaching kids, and I would always ask questions. Like, I've always been a person interested in culture and different cultures, especially with me being half Thai. I've always loved seeing how other people live. So I'd always just used to ask them, like, how do I say this in Arabic, or blah blah blah, why do you guys do this? Like, I just used to question a lot of things, and then it was just a case of me asking, can I actually come to mosque with you, because my friend used to go every Friday. So I used to go with her every Friday, and I just loved it. Like, I used to learn the stories and sit there, like, they used to read Quran, and I used to like try repeat it, but I did not know like what else was going on. But like the whole energy and the vibe is what really like brought me in, and I just loved everything. And you know, long story short, it was just a long process of me falling in love with Islam. With myself, it wasn't really a quick like, this religion is for me. It was more of a long process where I started to fall in love with it and understood why they were doing things, and you know, the concept of God. Because before this I was basically a Buddhist, but I never really believed in it. So the concept of God just really appealed to me, and I like 100% understood it and thought, I think this is what I believe in. So I might have to just talk to this tangent now, but I finally took my Shahada at my friend's house when I was about 13, and at this point I didn't tell my family, I didn't tell my mum. But I never really thought that my mum would have an issue, because before this, when I was going to the mosque every Friday, she knew, she used to see me in the abaya and the hijab and have no issue about it. So I just didn't see an issue with me being Muslim. I just never thought that my mum would have an issue with it again, because she saw me and everything, she knew I was learning about Islam. So when I actually went to tell her, I didn't feel any type of anxiety until I actually sat down. So once I sat down and wanted to tell her, all of a sudden my body just filled with this whole like just anxiety basically, and I just knew, oh no, I don't know how this is gonna go down. So I struggled to tell her, and then I told her, and all of a sudden she was just like, no, you're not gonna listen, you can't listen. And then that really confused me again. Obviously she was okay with everything beforehand, me learning about Islam, so I was just like, nothing's gonna change. Obviously I'm still the same person learning about Islam. I'm just confining myself to this religion now. Like, I've decided that I actually want to be Muslim because this is the religion for me. And obviously she didn't agree with that, which in the beginning, the first couple of years, I would say the first 3 or 4 years of me being Muslim, it was very hard for me with my mum. But alhamdulillah, she slowly came about, and now me and her have the best relationship. Like, she fully accepts it now, and yeah, she's completely happy for me, alhamdulillah. With my dad, we didn't really have a relationship when I was younger, like a close relationship. And then when I was about 13, 14, when I actually became Muslim, that's when we started to get closer. And he basically found out through, I can't really fully remember how my dad found out. I think it was just basically like people telling him, because obviously I was posting pictures and posting stuff of me online with hijabs and posting that I was Muslim basically. And he was not happy whatsoever. As you can understand, like, he came from a very small little village in Barnsley. Like, he's very closed off to the world. He'd never met a Muslim in his life. The only ethnic people he'd ever met was my family. And obviously we're not Muslim, so he had a very like twisted thought of Muslims, as you can understand. So in the beginning, again, it was very hard for me and my dad. He didn't accept it whatsoever. I would say it took him longer than my mum. He only started to accept it fully when I actually got married. So that was when, about 2-3 years ago now, when I actually, was getting married and he saw how Muslim families actually are. That's when he fully started to realise that, oh, okay, Muslims aren't actually really bad people. But yeah, my Revert story is not that interesting, but that's basically it. If you have any questions, just comment them. Thank you.